right.
Good evening. Welcome to the show 1 of Saints of Misery. I'm your host, Grandmaster Jarf. To my fellow co-hosts, we have Flo in the cowboy hat. I'm sorry, F-San. My apology.
That's okay. That works.
We have Cordan over there in the hipster glasses and the grainy-ass camera.
Hello.
We have Kaba down here in the lower corner with the green screen.
Hey, guys.
And we have the Elizabella, former co-host of All Things Azeroth, down here in the lower right.
Hi.
How is everybody doing this week?
Meh.
It's
Not
been
bad.
it's been hot for me. It's been so hot for me. We're having a second heat wave here in Vancouver. We haven't seen rain in like almost 2 months,
Oh my.
and it's super hot. We're not used to this. Like half the people are dying not from COVID, they're dying from heat.
Jesus Christ.
And
See,
here
it's-
in,
The Northeast has been nothing but rainy recently, so
that is so not true.
we had more rain the last month than we've had in last year.
I don't know. It was pretty hot this weekend. It's been hotter than average. Like traditionally, in Maine in the Northeast, we don't get temperatures above 80, and we've had some 80s and 90-degree days, and it's just not normal. So people are just like really hot, and there's a lot of heat stroke and heat advisory, and UV warnings, and like we went to the beach on Saturday, and I got totally sunburnt, and I'm not used to being sunburnt so much.
Ouch. It's the same.
Nice.
It's the same here in Vancouver. I'm in Canada. I'm the only one in Canada of the whole group.
Go Canucks!
Yeah, not a very great number. We're not gonna talk about that.
So you survived the geese
Talk about
today.
the Bruins, and then Bruins, Canucks. Not a good idea.
Yeah, nah. But yeah, like
We'll
we've
leave
been
sports to another thing.
like looking at temperature for you guys who are in freedom units. It's been like in the
Minutes.
anywhere from 85 to 95 degrees for the past like almost 2 months. It's just stupid.
Jesus.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
Guys, how's it been down in the Midwest?
Well, the weather service decided to call me and text me twice during a thunderstorm to tell me that there was a thunderstorm. So that's a thing.
it's awesome. We don't
It's-
have a lot of thunderstorms.
Be
Not
careful,
really.
there's a thunderstorm. Oh, I couldn't have guessed. Shit.
Right. I love the fact too. They're like, oh, it's gonna last till like 8 o'clock or so. It like lasts 5 minutes.
Ugh.
That's epic. Imagine if too bad. Good thing that was like a thunderstorm warning and not for more severe weather.
That's awesome.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Go
I
ahead.
mean, people from Midwest, man. I mean, we just sit out there and just don't even worry about it until we hear siren, and then that's pretty much when we panic.
Wait,
Heck, I sit outside when there's a tornado.
but see,
I don't see it.
when I was
Siren?
down there,
Yeah.
people, even when it had a tornado, people would stand outside and wait for the tornado to come through just to watch it. Come
Right,
on,
no,
Midwest.
I've literally seen that when I was in Amber's family in Tennessee. That happened to us. So we're just at the hotel, and then we started hearing the sirens, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, where is it? Where is it?"
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm gonna die.
Have they not seen the movie Twister? Like, hello.
You see,
Yeah,
the
we're
thing
gonna grab a belt and strap ourselves to the post where the horses go.
Well,
It's the Midwest. We all have horses posters everywhere.
I was
Yeah.
about to say about 30% of the population here is pretty much like the entire cast of Twister. I mean, that's exactly what it is. Every one of them's like, "Oh, did you see that? Look, we gotta go out there now. Get the camera. We're gonna be internet famous."
Gotta catch that bitch. Woo.
That happens here though in when we have high waves and things like that. There's this one beach in southern Maine. I think it's Gooch's Beach. It's near in Wells, and the waves get so high, and people are like with the cameras, and they're trying to make sure they catch the weather, and the water's rushing in because it floods every spring when the ice melts. And oh yeah, it's pretty funny. And I'm like, how stupid are you people? Come on.
All right.
Pretty
So
stupid.
with all of that out of the way, thank you guys. I appreciate all that. We'll move on to what we've done for the past week. As a note for the listeners, we will do a rotating cast of hosts every week. I am the main host for this week. Next week it'll be Epsan, and then the following week it could be Cordan, Kaba, and then Bella will rotate back to me. Just so everybody knows.
Save the best for last.
Something like that. As for I will go last in this. Flo, what have you been up to this week?
So I've been pretty busy with work to begin with, because a lot of the shows are starting again. For those who are listening to us, I work kind of in the movie and TV industry. I rent a lot of props and stuff like that for those shows. And I live in Vancouver, Canada, where about 75% of the shows are made. So yeah, a lot of shows are coming back. I can't really talk about which ones because NDAs, but
If
yeah.
you told us, you'd have to kill us.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I have to say, I really enjoy what you do for work because I just think it's awesome. So if you want to like casually drop a few hints without telling us what it is, maybe we could be smart and figure it out.
Well, to give you an idea, I just rented a bunch load of police belts and guns.
There you go.
Is TV or movie?
TV.
Huh. I wonder if it's one of my favorite ones.
No.
I bet it's one of my favorite ones.
Stop. We're not going to spend time guessing.
I'm not
I
Let
know,
him
I
finish
have
his
a guess in my head. I'll answer.
Let him finish his week.
Aside from that, I've been working on my YouTube channel, other channel, and I've been playing some games. I've been playing the closed, soon open beta for Back 4 Blood. Really fun game. I've been enjoying that. And a few indie games. I've been playing some Cloudpunk that I found out not too long ago, and The Ascent, which has been doing the headlines for a little bit now. So it's been alright.
What's Cloudpunk?
So Cloudpunk it's kind of like playing what's this game by Kojima I also like a lot, where you're just a delivery guy. So you're basically
Death Stranding?
Death Stranding, yeah.
It's
kind of like Death Stranding mixed with Cyberpunk, but in pixel art. It's made with voxels, so it's 3D pixels. So it's kind of like 8-bit looking and in 3D. And the premise of the game, I haven't finished it yet, but the premise of the game is you're just this delivery person, and you grab packages from point A and you brought them to point B, and then there's some kind of story behind it. But the city itself is really cool. Some people say that that's what Cyberpunk should have been. I kind of disagree with that, but it's not a topic. It looks really cool. A lot of neon lights. It runs really good. Some nice little fun game. I think I got it for like $5 or $10 or something like that. But it was worth it.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Bella, what have you been up to this week?
Well, let me see. Playing a lot of Animal Crossing. I have probably...
What a surprise.
I know, right? I'm so surprised. I probably logged about... How many hours did you say I logged this week, Jarf? A
Nope.
lot.
I'm staying out of that. That's between you and yourself.
Too many. But in the process, though, I created a bunch of new designs. I was getting ready to, and I hosted an event on my island because I had so much crap, because I may or may not be a hoarder in Animal Crossing. I have 2 max level houses on my island, and their banks are always full.
Isn't that the point of Animal Crossing, though? To hoard
Say,
shit?
like-
Hoarder?
Yeah,
You play Animal Crossing, you're a guaranteed hoarder.
right?
I know.
I know, it's
Yeah, I was
great.
one.
But when both of your banks are full, and I like to be, I'm in several groups on Facebook, and they're really great supportive communities, and a lot of them, they give away a lot of stuff, and they encourage members to host events to help other people. And when you're maxed out on bells, there's only so much you can do. And so I was like, well, I want to set up it like a flea market with different stalls and different designs, and I was like, well, I can't find the design that I wanted. So I was like, screw it. And I just started designing my own. And I've posted them all on Twitter, so anybody can have them. You can share them and whatnot. And they're kind of cute. So I did that this week. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to finally open my island. I've only been spending 4.5, maybe 5 weeks trying to get it all ready and lay it all out and design it and make it look the way I want. And then nobody showed up.
Oh,
So I opened my island, posted the code, and like nobody.
I'm sorry.
And when we're starting to get ready for bed, and it had been open for like a half hour, all these people just started flying in, and I was like, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
okay, that's awesome.
hold
That's
on.
awesome.
Well, if you get too many, your island crashes, and
Right,
lo and
right.
behold, yeah. So then I was like, okay, 3 at a time, like let's get it done, and I got rid of a lot of stuff, and I made a new friend, and I,
Cool.
you know, opened up again, and I cleaned out a lot. So today I've just been like selling stuff and planning some giveaways and things like that. That's what I've been doing in Animal Crossing.
They should rename Animal Crossing to Garage Sale.
Yes. Yes.
That's what, I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, it's
It's
like,
kind of
it's
like
like
it's a virtual online garage sale. It's like, hey, you want my 8-bit
Yep.
item there? There you go. It's for you.
Basically, yeah.
it's like I don't need 50 kimonos, so let me put them all in my bag. And it's like when they added Mario stuff to it, I totally accumulated a truck ton of like blocks and floating blocks and mushrooms, and I'm
That's
just
fun.
like, that's enough. I only need one of each one. I don't need like 30 blocks and 40 mushrooms. So yeah, I've been doing that. And also this week we finished Steven Universe, and we watched the Steven Universe movie. This was the second time, and I love Steven Universe. Like, I love it, and I have 2 islands, but I'll talk more about that in a little bit.
All right.
I
Well, thank you.
worked, and we went to the beach yesterday with my son, who I have always nicknamed the Frostling, because I used to be a Frosty K, and he was my little Frostling. So it was nice to go to the beach and dig in the sand and watch Jarf at the beach. It was kind of funny. Not his natural element.
Yeah, I'll get to that later. Cordan, how you been doing this week? What have you been doing?
I've been alive.
That's always good.
So
Gryffindor, 10 points.
I find it important. Last month, Don Machi, a bunch of stuff came out last month. I started reading. I run Don Machi, or Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in Dungeon 16? I finished that. It broke my heart. And then I read Rascal Does Not Dream of Sister Home Alone, and that also broke my heart. And now I'm on Reign of Seven Spellblades Volume 3, and it's absolutely horrifying. So there is where I am right now.
Wow.
Is it gonna break your heart?
No, it's I don't.
It's always a bonus.
Reign of Seven Spellblades is like it's like if you combined Harry Potter, classical fantasy literature, and horror fantasy all in one book. That's what it feels like. Anyways,
Damn.
I also put a bunch of Warcraft books I haven't read yet on my back burner, but I'm sure we'll get into why later.
At least you read books. That's a good thing.
True.
Right,
I,
right.
I haven't read a book in like 55 years or some shit.
You can't be that old.
Oh, you never know.
He's immortal.
Yeah,
Well, I've heard that rumor.
he lives in Vancouver. Of course, he's immortal.
I
Aren't
also
all Canadians immortal? Sorry. Go ahead.
He's those Highlanders.
That's how people used to call me when I was a kid.
Nice.
Yeah, I had the long coat, I had the long hair, I had to have a sword that looks like his. That's why people call me like that.
This is exactly why I said specific flow instead of general flow, because there can only be one.
There
you
can
go.
only be one.
There you go.
Anime-wise, I started watching How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom, which is one of my favorite light novel series ever, so I'm really happy it has an anime series now. And then I have Girlfriend on there because, I want something else to break my heart. And then gaming, I'm going to start Genshin Impact because a bunch of people have been trying to get me to get into it, but I've been procrastinating on making an account. And then I have been playing Hiragana Warrior, which is just to freshen up my Japanese. So
Oh.
yeah, it's really all. I need to get Mass Effect the remake too. That's something that people have been yelling at me about too. So
Same. I do need to play Mass Effect Legendary as well. I have it. I just haven't touched it yet. Like I don't know.
No, thank you.
I don't know if like for me, it's a matter of time. Like I don't know if I want to get invested and spend that much time in it because I know when I start that kind of game, that's all I do for like 3 weeks in a row, and I don't sleep, I don't eat, that's just what I do, and I don't know if I want to get into that again.
That's fair. Well, thank you, Cordan. Appreciate it. All right, Kava, what have you been up to this week?
Yeah, whole bunch. So been mostly working on my art streams. Last week I was on Twitch. This week I was on Picardo. Did like 2 or 3 streams this week. I was trying to get more in, but I just didn't get a lot of time. And most times when I got free, like I didn't really have a whole lot of hours, so I was like, get done when I can. But that's pretty much what I've been doing. Just kind of coming up with some ideas there for it. Recently put up a post on Twitter asking people to take a poll of like some characters I was thinking about drawing.
That's right. I replied.
Yeah. Thinking about doing some fan art. I ended up going with the theme of Street Fighter. Just because I've always been into fighting games, and lately I've been kind of thinking back to it, just kind of reminiscing. So I was like, okay, well, see what people think. So I posted up like 4 characters I was thinking of drawing, and had people just kind of pick what they would like to see me do. I think last I checked it, I think people were like wanted me to draw Chun-Li. So
of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind.
Why wouldn't you? Chun-Li's the best one.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I never really drew her either. Like I mean, I've drawn like Cammy toys or something like that there. So I'm like, I really need to draw Chun-Li. Yeah. So I'll be working on that soon. I've got a original character I'm working on right now. Just another picture of her. Ink's already done. Just getting ready to do the coloring and stuff like that. Outside of that, though, I mean, I've been playing more Genshin, which I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But I've been playing a whole ton of it. I've been stupid obsessed with it lately. I actually, ironically, just to kind of side note here for it, today I actually finished catching up on the main story. I finished all side quests that I had picked out. There's still tons more, but I finished all the ones that I had already in my list. And I finished up leveling some of my characters. I got them all to like level 60 now. So, and they're fairly decent actually. So I'm still working on their artifact, but again, later. But that's pretty much been me.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Kava. I appreciate it. Now, myself, due to pressure let me restart that. Due to some pressure from some friends, I've restarted a Final Fantasy 14 account. Haven't downloaded the game yet again.
Oh no, rip your life.
Yeah, well, my life's already obsessed with DayZ. I did, however, cancel my WoW subscription for the first time in like 2 years. So.
Wait a minute. Obsessed with DayZ?
Yes, obsessed with DayZ.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. What's the word above obsessed? Does anyone know? I think it's addicted.
Addicted.
No, it's obsessed. I like the word obsessed.
Addicted.
That's funny.
Regardless,
I can't judge though because I do have games like this as well. When I play them, I just play a lot of them.
Same. I've had my
Oh, really? Yeah. Really?
Hey, my obsession or addiction to DayZ is no worse than your obsession or addiction to Animal Crossing. So I don't want to hear it.
Now,
he has a good point.
Okay. Now, I'd like to defend myself.
This is not an argument.
Well, so this is how I justify when I say he's addicted to DayZ. We're watching TV, we're watching a movie, and his Discord, bloop, and he pauses the movie or the show and reads the Discord that's all related to his DayZ. And I'm sitting there going, huh?
No, I haven't done that in a while. I'll let you watch the show. I just listened to it. I did not do that last night.
Or I'm ready for bed, and he's sitting in bed, and he's playing on his laptop, because my son's here, and he's sleeping. He's not here now, but if he was here sleeping. So he's playing on his laptop, and I'm like, all right, honey, I think it's time for bed. Yeah, okay. So I go to bed, and he's still sitting there beside me playing. I wake up at like 3:30 in the morning to go to the bathroom or something. He's still friggin' playing.
Only on the weekends. I'd like to point that out. I don't stay up that late during the weekday.
Anyways, I rest my case.
Regardless. So yes, I play a lot of DayZ.
That's fair. I can't blame or judge because I do the same thing.
And I do play a lot of Animal Crossing, but I do go through phases where I don't play. Like hours at a time. I don't play. Days I don't play. But
She
anyways,
plays during her work day.
I work from home.
Exactly.
I
That's
hear
why
the
you get to play from
trenches.
work.
I hear the trenches being dug right now.
Well, okay. What would you do if you were in a Zoom meeting and all you had to do was sit in this meeting for like 3 to 4 hours and you can't speak because it's with a grant, or it's with the feds and you're just there to observe? What would you do? And your camera's off because nobody's cameras are on and you're muted.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like back before when I was working at home for it here, when I had like meetings like that going on, pretty much just popped on Destiny, just get some quick stuff done real quick here while this is going on here.
Exactly.
I forgot what it was half the time when I played
That's
WoW.
my case.
Exactly. So,
Girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do.
regardless, also with Bella, we have finished Steven Universe. We're getting ready to start Steven Universe Future again.
Nice.
And I did pick up Final Fantasy IV again on my DS. I did start continuing to playing the game I had saved on it. So
Is that the one you were screaming at really loud the other day and
Yes.
cussing and
On the DS?
yes,
Okay.
Interesting.
well,
Your life is
it's
interesting here.
it's the 3D version like they did with Final Fantasy 3.
Oh, okay. No, I
So it's got
I don't know. I just find it funny because it's the DS, so it's a fairly old system. Are they coming with like remastered, remade versions?
the
Yeah.
pixel
Yes,
remastered
yes.
ones,
Some
The
of them are just the
first-
mobile versions. Ported over.
but they've got better pixel graphics on them. That's the
True.
thing.
It's and that's the thing about it. Like I've seen it too, and like the screenshots I've seen of it is that they're pretty much like Super Nintendo quality now with the regular
Oh.
Nintendo like editions.
And I
which-
think the first 2 or 3 are already out on Steam.
The
Oh, okay.
first three.
The first
Yeah.
3 already
First
are.
three.
Oh, okay, I should check it out.
Yeah.
4 hasn't came out yet.
I
Now,
thought
go ahead.
this remake 6 was out, or is that? Am I wrong?
No,
I know
no.
8's out.
The as far as it goes, it's the first 3 right now. They're planning on 4, 5, and 6, but it looks like they're going to be doing them later this year.
Okay.
That's pretty much what they have right now for it. Any other additions you're seeing are like other earlier ports and stuff like that there.
Oh, okay. That kind of scares me though. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of scares me when I see that. When they remake that kind of games, like old games, for newer systems, because I can't remove from my mind how they did Final Fantasy VI so dirty for mobile, or or the Chrono Trigger port for Steam. How it's just bad, like the way
Yeah,
it
see
looks. It looks like it was made on Flash or some bullshit. It's like, so I'm kind of scared.
Well, the Final Fantasy IV for DS has got PlayStation 1 and 3D graphics on it. So it's like
Okay.
playing Final Fantasy 7 but in 4 format. It's weird.
Okay.
If you want to play a good version of 6 that's not on the Super Nintendo, pick up the Game Boy Advance version. Final Fantasy 6 Advance. It's basically the SNES version ported to the Game Boy with better sound.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
What was it?
I've heard
Oh,
good
and-
things about 8. I mean, sitting there drawing all day, probably.
And the best version of Chrono Trigger, other than the SNES version, is the DS version because it's basically a direct port.
Right.
So,
Right. Similar hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I bought a DS. Actually, it's right here, off of eBay, like sometime last year. So I got this to play on. Plus, I got a 2DS XL to play it on. So
I have a 3DS. Does that work on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
all DS games work on the 3DS.
Nice. I've had that 3DS for like, I want to say 5 years, and I've played on it twice.
It's a nice little system to take, especially if you can get the older games. If you can get a flash card to put games on it, it's beautiful.
It's great. Like I enjoy it. The only reason I bought it is because at that time there was a Pokemon game that came out. I think it was X and Y.
Mhm.
That came out, and Amber had one of the versions, and she was like, "Oh, you should get one. You should get the other one." I'm like, I'm okay. So I went ahead and bought a 3DS with the other Pokemon version that she didn't have, and yeah, that's basically it. I played Pokemon for like 2 weeks, and I haven't touched it since then.
I got one so I could play all the other Animal Crossing games.
See, there you go. I don't even want to begin like how many like 3DS like corpses I have.
Oh yeah.
Jeff, what's that pink one that we got?
That's a DS Lite.
Yeah, we got my son a DS Lite, and he started playing it, and then I made the huge mistake of introducing him to the Switch.
Oh yeah.
And he hasn't touched that son of a gun since, and I can't get him to go play it. Can we play Switch? Can we play Switch? Can we play Switch?
I mean, to be fair, the Switch is a better system, though.
Oh,
It
God,
is.
yes.
True.
It
You know,
is.
when we went to Santa's Village this summer, you know what he told Santa he wanted for Christmas? A Switch.
I mean,
He wants his own Switch.
Yep.
Hey, a
Right.
Switch Lite, you know, I've let him use my Lite because we have a lot of Switches here in this house, and he
Yeah.
did well with it. He was responsible, so.
yeah. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the Switch, as most of you here know. I don't hate it, but I'm not a big fan. Like, I still haven't one. I don't have one. I've been thinking about getting one for a while now.
You're not alone, by the way.
What kind of like holds me back is just the price and the fact that it doesn't go down in price because Nintendo does that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And,
We have 4 of them.
and also, like, and that's been my problem with Nintendo since like a long time now, is that I don't want to spend that much money on the system, which is great. It's a great system, don't get me wrong. But to play like 3 or 4 games on it, because the 3 or 4 good games on
Yeah.
it are made by Nintendo, and everything else is third party that I can play somewhere else, usually at better quality. So that's why I'm kind of like on the fence. But if I had the chance, maybe finding one like for cheap or whatever, I'd definitely go for it. It's a good system. It's really cool.
If you look hard enough, you can find a Switch Lite almost always in Facebook Marketplace for under $150.
Ooh, I should look at that now.
Because the Switch Lite's only $200 brand new, but if you can find it for
Sure.
$150 or cheaper, it's worth it.
Right.
It's what, you know, it's. And I haven't touched my Lite in a while, but that's because we have a decent TV now that my Animal Crossing Edition Big Switch is attached
Right.
to. So, like, I haven't touched my Lite, and I'm kind of have been neglecting it. I feel bad. So it's like, I'm sorry. But there is a difference between the Switch and the Switch Lite when it comes to like playability and hand stuff. Like the Switch Lite's smaller than the Switch. Jeff, do you have yours both there? You can do a size comparison.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me turn around.
Well,
Yeah, I know, size comparison. Like this is oh crap! There goes my Apple Watch. Hold on.
Oh.
That cord is too tiny. Like actually, I could just do this. Haha.
Whoa.
That-
whoa.
That's the
Ooh.
dock for the thingy.
That's kind of cute.
I like that one.
That was a real pain in the ass to find, by the way.
Oh, I can believe it. I was trying to get one
Thank
for
you,
my sister.
honey.
Again, found it on Facebook. Some guy was selling it. He barely played it. Even came with a 256 gig memory card.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So,
Hey. Okay.
And
but
the Switch Lite is much smaller.
so that's the original Switch, right?
Mhm.
Big and huge, and hey, look, it's Zelda themed.
Because he put a skin on it.
This is the Switch Lite.
Okay, so it's a little smaller, yeah.
The
Is-
biggest difference is the Switch Lite
Ooh.
cannot hook up to your TV.
Right.
And the sides come off so that you could put them in something like this if you wanted.
Yeah.
I have an Animal Crossing one of these too. It's just on the bed. And or like in some games like Mario Party, until the new one comes out, or Mario Kart, you hold the Joy-Cons. Oh crap! The soundbar almost fell off. You hold them like this,
Yeah.
or with like a strap.
Right.
And this must be yours, honey.
It doesn't matter.
So many switches in the house. There's just Joy-Cons
It's not
everywhere.
me.
Right.
Yeah, basically,
There
yeah.
a Joy-Con, there a Joy-Con, everywhere a Joy-Con. We have too many switches in our house. Oh yeah.
But see, like
No, we
I
don't.
think that's why I'd probably go for like a regular Switch rather than
more
the Switch
flexible.
Lite. Just because like I don't like playing on small screens, and I know that's the whole thing about the Switch. It's portable, right? It's handheld. But I actually don't
Well-
like it. I don't like playing on like fairly small screens, even though the Switch has a pretty big screen. I like playing on my big TV on my monitors. So that's why I'd like to have the dock version, because you can just use the HDMI. for
Well,
that.
if you get the original, if you get the regular Switch, you can also hook it up and stream it. So
That's true.
you can't do that with this.
Your capture card should be on the way soon, by the way.
Appreciate that.
Yay!
Yeah, the capture box I bought, the Hoppage PVR box.
Mm-hmm.
I got the power supply for it yesterday. It worked perfectly.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
But regardless of that, let me drop everything on my desk. Thank you for the updates on the week and the little mini discussion about the Switch. Let's move on to the topic of the subject. Topic of discussion today.
Oh.
Where came unplugged? So plug it back in.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
It came unplugged when I moved my camera to show you the thing. It came unplugged, and now my camera won't focus again. So I must have broke something.
I will be right back. Flo, since this was your idea, discussion about the Blizzard shit. If you want to start talking about that, I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm out of focus. I did something. Lord help us all. Sorry.
That's funny.
The world is crumbling. All is nigh.
But yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about for this episode, because that's kind of the big thing that's happening right now in the gaming industry and in general, is the whole Activision Blizzard lawsuits. There are 2 or 3 of them now. It started with 1, and now like 2 or 3 of them. So for those who live under a rock, Activision Blizzard, the big company, got hit by a lawsuit by the state of California. And the main thing about the lawsuit is discrimination and things like that at the company, especially towards women and people of color and stuff like that. And there's a small part about a bunch of really bad stuff happening over there, sexual harassment and all that kind of stuff. And then they got hit by another lawsuit recently, just a few days ago, I think it was, by the shareholders.
Yep.
Who, it's a regular class action, and the shareholders are like, we had no idea that kind of shit was going on at the company. If we had known, we would have bailed a long time ago, but we didn't. So they're not very happy about that, obviously. But one of the things that happened because of that is the company, and especially all the stuff that they have around them, is losing a lot of people and is losing some money. Not quite as much as people would have thought at first, but still some money. And when you look at things like the Overwatch League and the Call of Duty leagues, they both lost all their sponsors. All the sponsors just left. It started with T-Mobile, the biggest one. And I think it was just yesterday, finally, was Pringles and Cheez-It Groove left Overwatch League. And before that, it was Coke and State Farm Insurance. And the funny thing is, just funny to me, is that the CEO of Activision, Bobby, is actually on the board for Coca-Cola. So people were like, no way Coca-Cola is gonna get away from Activision because Bobby is both, right? Nope. Coke was like, you know what? Done with this shit, goodbye.
I don't think he's going to be on their board much longer.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. So, like,
Right.
it's pretty big. And my question, I guess, for you guys is, how do you think that will impact? So we'll agree that all the shit that's happening over there is really bad. It's bad for the people. It's bad for the industry. It's bad for everything. And we feel, especially for the women who had to go through all of that. But my question is, in terms of just gaming, what do you think that will do to the company, to the games? There were stories already saying that there was like nothing being done on WoW right now because the morale is so low. People just don't want to work. Nothing's being done, even though they're hiring more people. The future for the Overwatch League and for Overwatch 2 is kind of in the balance. We don't know what's going on with that anymore. So, like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think I probably have maybe an unpopular opinion, but you can't behave like that and expect there not to be serious ramifications. A woman committed suicide over this. Like, she was harassed and threatened to and threatened that pornographic images of her were going to be publicly released because she wanted to end a relationship and she wanted to be, to be done with all of that was going on. And she committed suicide on a staff retreat event. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Why?
I agree
how,
too.
You cannot behave like a fraternity house in a place of business. Like, at all. There should be a zero tolerance policy. The women should have felt comfortable being able to report the sexual harassment they were experiencing. But it speaks volumes for what type of, employee culture was going on there. If a person doesn't feel safe and comfortable or trust that they're going to be believed or something is going to change when they speak up, then what did they think was going to happen? Like, bravo to the women that came forward and blew the whistle and was like, we're not going to take this anymore.
Oh, for
Fuck
sure.
you. We're
Yeah,
done.
definitely.
I definitely agree. Like, that's something that had to change, that had to stop, and that has been going on for a long time. Like, let's be honest.
Clean house.
Like,
anyone who had an accusation made against them needs to be fired.
I mean, to be fair, they've been doing that. A lot of heads are rolling right now. Activision Blizzard.
Right.
A lot of people are being fired or not leaving. It's happening. It's happening. The concern is that it's been going on for a while, and Activision Blizzard is not the first company we hear that from. We've had it from Ubisoft before. There are plenty of companies where it's been happening, or it's still happening to this day. And so it's a good thing that came out. But like, my worry is about the games, because
Yeah.
right? The thing is, like, saying F Activision is cool and all. Like, I'm totally okay with that. Just like the same way we say, freak EA, whatever. But ultimately, what does that mean for the product, right? Because we still have millions of people playing WoW. We still have 5 people playing Overwatch. We still have...
Sorry. Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I hear you. It's like,
if you
what's going to happen?
If you play at the higher ranks of... If you play at the higher rank of Overwatch, you understand what I mean. Like, the queue times are just stupid. But anyway, there's still people playing that. When you look at the numbers for Call of Duty, every year, every time they have a new release, it sells billions of dollars. It's always at the top, right? So my worry, which is not really a worry because I kind of have like a different view on that as well, is what does it mean for the game? What does it mean for World of Warcraft, for future content? Considering a lot of people are already not happy with the state of World of Warcraft, right, the way it is right now. A lot of people are bored. A lot of people don't understand the decisions that are being made for the game. Same with Overwatch. Overwatch hasn't had like a content update in 2 years because they're working on Overwatch 2. Are we even going to see Overwatch 2? It's supposed to come out sometime next year, but is it gonna or is it not? Like, we don't know those things, right?
I can see Overwatch 2 going the way of Titan out the damn door.
To be fair, Titan became Overwatch, so.
Yeah, I know, but
That's
still.
true. I think, yeah, go ahead.
I had no problem. I just want to say that, like, just while I have the thought in mind here for it, is that, again, going back over the fact that this kind of culture was building up for many years and that sort. And if you look back at the games over the last decade, honestly, the kind of like lack of developments, the delays, the kind of slowdown and that sort, the lack of response for stuff, it's just been utterly ridiculous. And it kind of comes off that. And I feel that, like, even though change is being made and that's forward here, I feel like there's still going to be tons of delays, a lot of choices that are going to have to be redone and that sort. And I just think gaming-wise, I don't think that the development's going to be there. I think it's going to actually hurt it a lot. Like, in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking, everybody was kind of touting the WoW killer. I honestly think this is it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel about it. Because, I mean, you see so many people jumping boat on it now. I mean, yeah, there's still millions of people playing, but I don't really see a really good recovery here for at least like another year or so, at least.
And see, like, that's kind of like where I'm looking at it from, like, in a way that I think not a lot of people always think about, is that I think it's gonna hurt the company, Activision Blizzard, and especially Blizzard, because that's where a good chunk of the issues were at. I think it's gonna hurt those companies, and it's definitely going to hurt the games for a little bit, for a little while. So like, is WoW gonna keep going the way it is right now? Most likely not. It's gonna drop. A lot of content creators are already saying, "I'm quitting. I don't want to play this thing anymore." A lot of news outlets are like, "We're not gonna cover those games anymore because of Activision Blizzard." Like, I get that, but ultimately, I think with what's going on right now at Activision Blizzard, all those people leaving, we're gonna have a bunch of new people coming in. We've already seen that happening already. When you look at Diablo 2, Diablo 2 isn't made by Blizzard. The Diablo 2 Remastered is not made by Blizzard. Diablo 2 Remastered is made by Activision through Vicarious Vision, right? Which used to be an Activision studio, and now it's a Blizzard studio. And I think that's what's going to happen, because the old ways, the old Blizzard ways in terms of game development and the game cadence that they have is just not sustainable anymore. In this market now, you can get away with having a game out and then not talk about it for 2 years, and then have an expansion and then not talk about it for another 2 years. You can't do this anymore. It doesn't work. People are not gonna stay. The only reason why people are still playing WoW is because it's WoW and they've been playing it for 10 years, right?
Or more.
Or more.
Or they're addicted, or
Right.
you know,
Like, it's just
their
their game, right? But I
their
think
model isn't sustainable anymore.
it's not, and that's why I think, and maybe I'm just not too hopeful about it, but I think that all the shit that's going on in Activision Blizzard, especially at Blizzard, might actually be a good thing for the games, because that's gonna force the company to bring in a lot of fresh blood, a lot of fresh views, and a lot more, hopefully, respectful views to the gaming development processes. And I think maybe we're gonna start getting some cool games, hopefully. Maybe not right away, it's gonna take a while. Like, again, we don't know what's gonna happen with WoW. We don't know what's gonna happen with Overwatch 2. We still have no idea about Diablo 4, if that's going anywhere. But I think, give it 2 or 3 years, we might actually start getting some cool things again. Especially if they get their shit together and their offices working properly with respectful people.
I also have a theory that kind of goes along with that, and I thought, Kaba, that you were getting there, but then you made another turn. So if you think back, and if this has been going on for as long as we found out, it's been going on for a very long time. A lot of the delays and project cancellations and postponements and lack of content and crappy content, and they're not going to have time to give it their all if they're worried about how they're going to, have sex with their secretary, or who they're going to harass, or if they're showing up to work drunk, or if there's kegs rolling around.
Right.
Like, you're not going to be able to work. And, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is really sad, because like, the people working on those games are still very passionate about the games. They still want to do their best about the games. They want to produce as well as they can. And because, why else would you stay in that kind of company if you didn't actually believe in the game that you're working on, if you didn't have the passion?
Exactly.
How would you, I don't want to say support, because we're not just supporting, but enduring that kind of atmosphere if you didn't believe in the games? And to me, that's really the sad part, is the people still working there they want to be there. The people who are still working on WoW, the people who are still working on Overwatch, they want to be there. They want to make the best that they can for those games. But the company just wasn't giving them the proper tools to do that. Not necessarily technical tools, but the human tools to do that. And maybe that now heads are rolling. Maybe that will change, and maybe that will get better. Who knows?
And I have heard from some people that work there and have been employed there for a while that the culture wasn't that way in all areas, in all departments, in all facets of the company.
That's true.
But it's always a few bad apples that ruin the batch. It's always it's always that bad stuff that takes over. And what I hope will happen, and what maybe needs to happen, is the Blizzard name, the Blizzard franchise, the Blizzard whatever, it needs to melt. It needs to go. And it needs to be gone and start fresh, and the games go somewhere else. Something has to change, because I know personally, I will never subscribe to World of Warcraft again. Never.
What they need to do is Blizzard needs to get the fuck away from Activision. That's where the shit went wrong when they got bought by Activision.
But that's never gonna happen now. It's too late.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I know.
Like,
What was it? What was the name of the company that owned them? That French company? Vivendi?
Oh, Vivendi, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that they bought themselves out from Vivendi, I thought was an excellent move. 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Or 5, whatever it was. But the fact that they're merged with Activision, my opinion, Activision Blizzard's going the same way that EA is, right down the damn toilet. And I used to love EA in the 80s when they produced The Bard's Tale and all those good games, but they need to get the fuck away from Activision. That's what they need to do. I know you're right, Flo. They're not going to, but they need to.
It's not. I'm pretty sure that's no. A lot of people working at Blizzard right now would think the same way as you do. I'm sure some of them would be very happy to leave Activision. But and to be fair, that's something I've been saying for years as well. The same way that Bungie was able to leave Activision back then. When that happened, I was like, Blizzard needs to do the same. The reality of it, because of how it works, like companies and whatever. And the merger just happened. That's never gonna happen because it's Activision Blizzard, it's one company. Whereas Bungie was a subsidiary of Activision. That's why they were able to leave. Bungie was working for Activision. Blizzard is part of Activision, so they can't really leave like that.
Most of the people that worked. Most of the people that worked at Blizzard before they were bought out by Activision too have left already. They're not there anymore.
Yeah.
That's Chris Metzen, right? Greg Street, Mike Morheim. Now, Greg Street went to work for Riot Games, but he's also one of the main parties involved in that whole Cosby Room shit that they've been talking about with that whole lawsuit. So
and also we can bring it that kind of issue was also highlighted on Riot Games not too long ago. When was that? Like last year? It was last year or something like that.
That was last year.
Culture. You know what? It breeds. If you come from a place where it's okay to be sexually inappropriate with your coworkers, then you're just going to keep doing it.
Yeah,
and then other people are going to do it, and other people are going to do it because they don't want to be, peer pressure. People are like, well, why didn't anyone else speak up? Or why did other people do it too? And peer pressure. You don't want to look like you're the odd person out. And if everyone you're working around is demeaning towards women, then it's just the status quo.
It's high school over again.
It is. And when this whole thing came out, it literally shook me because as a female gamer and as a woman who is interested in gaming culture and things like that, we aren't as many as there used to be. We're not growing like we used to grow. And there aren't as many of us around that really stick with it or stick to it. Look at streamers. Some of my favorite female streamers, they don't do it anymore because they were bullied out of it.
Yeah.
This sexual harassment culture, this women aren't as good as men. It's not just in gaming. It's in the workplace still. It's in every aspect all around the world. How did we not see this coming? We knew it would happen. And it's not done happening.
Nope. But at least something is hopefully being done about it right now.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Right.
I mean, because I don't want to downplay what happened and what's going on, because obviously I've been an advocate of those things. But between Riot last year and Ubisoft after that, and now Activision Blizzard, which is arguably the bigger profile company for this to happen in, right? The other one would be EA. We haven't heard about EA yet, so we'll see how that goes. But
I give it till the end of next year. I'm going to make a prediction right now. By this time next year, it'll be EA.
Yeah.
And if it's not EA, it'll be some other big corporation or company or something like that.
Right. But
I'm waiting for something to come out of Twitch or, something.
Right. But like I still want to keep, and maybe it's just a bit foolish of me, but I kind of want to keep that hope that things are changing and things will get better for the women and for everybody working in this company. It doesn't have to be everybody, women, people of color, doesn't matter where you come from or your identity or whatever. Like, I want all those people to feel safe and do what they love in a safe environment. And my hope is that we are going towards that. It might be slow, but I feel like we're kind of going towards that. And having those things like Activision Blizzard being publicized like this, and like, let's remind ourselves that this was a lawsuit for the from the California state. Like, it wasn't just some random, class action whatever that usually gets swept around, like, down the rug. It's like literally the state of California who was like, yo, dude, this is not okay, you need to stop this. That's how people got to know about it, right? So having those high profile lawsuits and whatever and revelations, to me, I'm hoping that it will make things better.
I agree. I'm very hopeful about it as well. Because even though I said, like, WoW Killer and stuff like that, I'm still hopeful that that a lot of the attention that needs to be drawn will be drawn from this, and that again it'll be good all around in the sense that, like, again, like, better work environment, more rights for everybody, stuff like that there. And then on the gaming side of it here, new talent, better focus, new motivation, more creativity, more focus on the actual work.
Right.
I mean, I'm still extremely hopeful for, like, all around for everything. I'm just, it's just that's it. I don't know. We haven't really come across anything like as big as like this before.
Yeah,
so
this one was a really big one because the one from Riot and the one from Ubisoft like made the news for like 3 or 4 days, and then we just kind of forgot about it. And that's the other part I want to kind of touch on as well, is that, I mean, that's gonna sound bad, but we as gamers, we have like the attention span of a freaking goldfish.
And they abuse that too. They like try to throw trailers and everything at us to keep it for this.
Like I'm sorry, but like, I'm big into Overwatch. In case you haven't understood that yet, I played like thousands.
I didn't know. I wasn't sure.
Like, I played thousands of hours of Overwatch, and I'm really invested in it. And I'm really waiting for Overwatch 2. Even though this shit is happening, so now I'm kind of like questioning it, right? I'm like, should I support it? Should I not support it? Whatever. If next month they come up with the new trailer and the release date for Overwatch, I'll be freaking jumping on my chair. I'll be like, yeah, give me the pre-order. I want this right now. And that's the problem with us gamers, right? Like, we can all agree that whatever's happening is really bad. It's not cool. But once the shit comes out, we cannot forget about it. And we've seen that with Call of Duty every year. Every year, everybody's like, Call of Duty sucks. Everybody memes on Call of Duty. And then new Call of Duty comes out and it sells like 3.5 billion copies. It's like,
yep.
Really? I thought the game sucked. What happened there? Right?
Yep.
Because some of us, like, I bought the new one. And I played it like a month. And that was it.
Yeah.
The new expansion she's talking about for WoW.
Yeah, sorry.
Not Call of Duty. She won't play Call of Duty.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, I was a little surprised there.
Sorry, my brain. I have the memory of a goldfish.
I was gonna say the other day we were talking about Back 4 Blood and how you don't like first-person shooters, and I was gonna be like, what? You don't want to play Back 4 Blood with me, but you play Call of Duty? What is this?
I swear.
I would love to play it with you, but Jarf keeps telling me I won't like it. So
probably not.
Okay.
Kind of game.
In her defense, she did just buy Phasmophobia.
Oh, nice. All right. It's good.
Phasmophobia
is fun.
We need to have a night playing that, all of us.
We should. Yeah.
She's going to join us on Wednesday to play the game for the first time.
Oh.
Yeah. He thinks that I'm gonna like pee my pants or something out of being afraid.
I've
watched him play a lot. It does scare me.
Is someone gonna stream it? I want to see that.
We should. We totally should stream it.
We streamed it last night. It was Kaba, Skullcra, Clauser, and myself. We all played last night. We streamed. So.
Oh, nice.
I'm sorry I could make that again, by the way.
I wanted to play, but they already had 4, and yeah.
But how did you do, Ken, with that? I know you're not super hyped on this game.
I'm the man of the band, is what I
You're
am.
the man of the van.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
all right.
the man of the band. That
He
is
he's
my
become-
domain.
He has become the person to watch our sanity levels, the activity meter, and the cameras.
All right. Well, you need one of
I mean-
them. You need one for that, right?
somebody's got to play that role, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
To be
like,
honest with you,
eventually, I'll get to the point to where maybe I'll go ahead and try it. Like I said, my problem is that my anxiety will fuck me up if I get in there. If I see one little bit of like sudden jumping hands and shit, I'm gonna be like fucking in panic mode the rest of the night. Like, and
now
guys
Is
got
that
to
what
work in the morning.
happens?
when
Is
you
that
play that
what-
game, no, when you play that game and you get near, or I'm sorry, and this ghost gets near you, like if you find the ghost room, you'll hear the grudge sound in your headset.
Yeah, it will scare you in various different ways. Like it'll move objects,
see-
it'll turn radios on.
And see, and that's the thing. And that's the thing for me. Like, I'm not scared of it. It's just that suddenness, my brain can't process.
Oh yeah,
And that's that's what really throws me off. Like even just like I'm watching like just commercials and something just kind of suddenly just pops up there, or like a YouTube video where they do that shit. It just rocks me. And like my brain just can't process it. And I'm like just dumbfounded. And that's why I don't go out there and do it. Like, I mean, it's not that I'm scared. People say like, oh yeah, fuck him, he's scared. He's scared.
It
Oh,
reacts to you
Lord.
too.
You know.
Yeah, I'm
Lord.
very good at taunting ghosts. I've died many times.
he'll go in there and go, "Hey, ghost, it's your boy. Fuck you," and then they'll, if it's either him or it's me, they'll be the first one to die.
Oh boy.
Water in the sink. It's like, you're not supposed to be doing that in the sink, boy.
The last time I watched it, like I watched them stream it, and all of a sudden they were like, oh, he's dead, and they panned in, and I'm like, oh, what happened? His legs are going the wrong way. What the fuck?
There was a game we played recently where Clauser,
Nightmares.
I think Cordan, wasn't you that died, or was it somebody else?
I probably died.
There was like two or three of us, or
Everybody died.
it was 3 or 4 of us playing, and everybody died but myself. So I took the pictures of the bodies, and then I got the hell out of there.
He got the insurance money, so that's important.
And when you're a ghost in the game, you can't talk to anybody other than the other ghosts. You can
Yeah.
still hear the people.
Right.
And there are certain objects you can interact with, like
You can
pick up
still move objects.
a basketball, and you can follow everybody out to the truck where you are, and you throw it onto the shelf. I'm standing there watching 3 things get thrown on the shelf, going, "Okay, guys, are we done? Yes, we're done."
A lot of that's because I like throwing things at you.
Well, that too.
I'm just sitting there like I didn't realize what you were doing like when we were playing last night. And we're just like, where's Zoe? And all of a sudden it's to see the basketball. Oh, there's a ton of basketball here. Like, what the fuck?
It appears out of nowhere. It's actually kind of fun.
That's scary.
Oh god.
But well, we're gonna move on to lighter topics. That was a beautiful discussion about the Blizzard situation.
To be continued.
Yes,
Yes.
for more updates.
Most definitely.
Now we're gonna roll into, because I know she loves to talk, and then we'll get it out of the way now. Bella's Animal Crossing Corner.
Yay! Okay, so for those of you who don't play or aren't aware, or if you haven't played it in a while, you should really pick it up again. Because on July 29th, they had a pretty big update, and we hadn't had an update for really too long. They've been, really good about rolling updates out on a pretty regular basis, but then they just kind of got quiet and kind of stopped. So people were like, is this not going to happen? Are we not going to get any more? Are you going to leave us high and dry? Because if you've played Animal Crossing in the past, and you know the past history of Animal Crossing and what residents and what characters, what people have been visiting and what's there, you know that New Horizons, it ain't done. Like, there's a lot of characters that are missing. For example, this guy.
Oh, knock the shelf down.
I'm not gonna. If you hear a big crash and I start screaming, then you know why.
Well, we'll see it too.
Yeah, I know, it would be really bad. So, like,
This is how you know she's obsessed or addicted to the game.
so where's Lottie? Why isn't she in the current Animal Crossing? There's plenty of space for her to be there. And this little cute, I don't know his name, digging guy.
Mr. Rossetti.
Yes, he could totally have a place in Animal Crossing. with all the digging that we do, come on. We could have minerals and build them into other... They could become a whole, like... You know, we have to hit rocks, and we get gold and ore and all that crap anyways, so why not put him in? And this cute guy, I don't know what he does, but he's really adorable. Do you know his name?
Don't remember. His one of the ones. It was one of the ones that I didn't play that he was in.
Yeah. He's
Oh.
just really...
I forget.
Is it turtle?
He's what do you call them? A kappa.
Kappa. Yeah, he's
Oh,
Kappa.
Kappa. Oh.
Yeah, he's just really cute. And, you know, like, and Isabel. Don't even get me started on Isabel. Isabel used to be like this awesome character, and then they kind of stupefied her because she just makes the daily announcements and says, "Oh, I found my lost pair of socks. I better, don't want to bother you." Like, it, anyways. So,
Isn't
there's...
Isabel a mean one? I thought she was mean.
No.
No.
That's the dog that kidnaps you.
Isabel is Tom Nook's assistant.
I mean,
She sits
that's
inside the
kind
little
of mean,
building.
isn't it?
No, I hear you. So,
She is a fighter in not Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers now.
Oh, in Smash Bros.
yes,
Right, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
So, but all said and done, the new update brought fireworks back, and more than just on July 4th.
Ooh.
And you can, on every Sunday in the month of August, it started at 7 or 8, I can't remember.
7.
7, yeah, every Sunday at 7 in the entire month of August, they have something called the Fireworks Festival. And during that festival, you've got Red, who normally just tries to sell you fake art, with the occasional real piece in there.
It's like on
he
Twitter.
Has his,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
he has his pop-up shop where you can buy tickets for 500 bells, and you'll draw a number, and he'll give you an item. Some of the regular items, like the bubble blowers and sparklers and the I think they're called Twitters and all these different things, those are still there. But they added some new items that people had been asking for. They added, let me see here. Oh, I'm so excited. They added Baba. Is it Baba or Boba?
How's it spelled?
Yeah.
B-O-B-A.
Did
Yeah,
they?
Boba.
They added the
Boba
fet
tea.
into Animal Crossing?
I wish. No. They added
Are you trying to get
coffee.
me to play Animal Crossing? Is that why you're saying this?
Oh, honey, you would love Animal Crossing.
You
I
know,
could just envision your island. I'm
you
not
can-
kidding.
You can actually get designs made to look like Boba Fett's armor.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you could actually have Boba Fett in Animal
I'll
Crossing.
get to
That's
that.
funny.
Can I
So-
throw him in a Sarlacc pit?
You could
Yes,
build a
you
Starlight
could.
Pit.
Build a pit. Yep. So they added boba coffee, boba green tea, boba mango tea, boba milk tea, and boba strawberry tea. They also added popsicles, so chocolate frozen treat, orange frozen treat, and Ramoon soda frozen treat. And they added my personal favorite, cotton candy, because we've had a cotton candy machine, but we didn't have any item to put with it. So we've got melon cotton candy, plain cotton candy, Ramoon soda cotton candy, and strawberry cotton candy.
So basically, you have red sugar, blue sugar, and pink sugar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, green sugar too,
Oh,
because the
green
melon
sugar.
one is green,
Sorry.
and
Is
the
there-
orange one. So
This-
that's just the first part of the update. They've also released that there's going to be new Halloween items, spooky treat baskets, 4 of those for the 4 different pumpkins, 4 new spooky trees, and a new spooky trip lamp in the in the 3 colors. And one of the weirdest things, I guess, is, and it's not out yet because they're doing like a phased release. It will be out in 2 days, actually. Between August 10th and the 16th, they are selling an eggplant cow and a cucumber horse. And literally, these are like items you can put on your island and sit on.
Oh, okay.
You can ride the cucumber horse and you can ride the eggplant cow.
Okay. What kind of game are we talking about here about riding cucumbers? I'm confused.
know! Okay, yeah. I wish I could just like show you a picture of this. It's really funky looking. I know.
Sounds
so
like it.
everyone was like posting them going, what the heck? And the reason I think it was on a Reddit feed that I read, that it said the designers have understand and respect that lots of people build farms on their Animal Crossing. So they design these items for people to put in their farm fields as the livestock. And I'm like, F this shit. I found a code to make an umbrella into a cow. Like, I put an umbrella and turn it this way, and you literally look on my island, and it looks like a cow munching at the grass. I'll drop umbrellas everywhere. Like, I don't need a cucumber horse or an eggplant cow. But the most talked about item isn't coming until November, and it's 6 designs of a handheld lantern. Think Tangled. Think Rapunzel. That's exactly what they look like. And there's a lot of people that have time traveled ahead to get these, and they've taken some really cool screenshots of like the lanterns all around and people sitting and like making it look like Rapunzel, that scene when all the lanterns go up in the air and she's in the boat. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are really excited for this item. It comes in stars, moons, stained glass, suns, geese, and leaves. So yeah, we all need, who doesn't love geese in their life, right?
I have enough of those here in Canada.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Wait,
Have you
what?
do your Canadian
geese?
geese attack this week?
I don't need no more geese. What are you doing?
I know, right? Do they migrate to you? Because we get them sometimes, but not right now.
Why do you think they're called Canada geese? They
Oh,
come from
shit.
here. That's literally where they come from.
The only things I care about is Grey Goose.
There you go. So what I have done, we were talking about it just a few minutes ago, is about patterns and designs, and that's one of the coolest customizable features that Animal Crossing gives you. Is it gives you the ability to either design your own, or and share your designs, so that other people can use either your designer code or your item code, and put it on their own island. So I have 2 islands right now. My big island is called Ohana, and it has various aspects of, you know, Disney and Lilo and Stitch and all of that
I was gonna say,
stuff.
can you have a Stitch on your island?
I have
Yes.
a little one,
Nice.
and so what I had been trying to do is take this, which I finally finished,
Nice.
Nice.
and then I was gonna put it into the 32 by 32 pixel blocks, and realized that that's a lot harder than you think, because I have to take it into account when the 2 blocks have to be next to each other, how the design overlaps, and I ended up with blocks that had half of this and half of that, and Stitch's nose was all wonky, and so I've put that aside for a little while.
Fuck this shit, I'll go back to it later.
Yeah,
I will say, I
basically.
mean, like that was one of the things that I loved about playing Animal Crossing, is just doing all the design work and whatnot. Because I used to design like a lot of different like types of like clothing and that sort of signs.
Yeah,
I'm
clothing
curious.
is hard for me.
I'm curious because how does that? So I have never played an Animal Crossing game, right? I don't know how to actually interact with it. How do you make those in game? Like, is it?
Oh.
Do you do it like pixel by pixel? Is it like basically doing pixel art in the
Yes.
game?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes. So the further you progress in the game, you can spend your Nook miles that you earn to unlock different designer tools. So for example, when you and the more design tools, it allows you to do more. So like your first initial set, you can't change. You can change the color palette, but you can't customize the color individually to your need, or you can't, you know, access certain stuff until you've unlocked both the Pro Designer, and the other, I think it's the regular and the Pro, but then you can do anything. You also can design something and scan it through another way with a QR code, and it'll import that in as well.
So you could be drawing something on paper and then scan it, import it in the game, and then touch it up through the game.
Yes.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
I believe so.
The QR code is more so for like people to share their designs, because like one of the things that was hard about some of the previous games was being able to share some of your content. They started to kind of fix it up with New Leaf, And then with this one here, they just went all in basically to where you can like share like different QR codes with people when you make your designs. Like for
That's
myself,
what those QR codes are. I remember when the game came out. Like I would see those all over like Facebook and Twitter and shit.
Mm-hmm. That's how they for myself, like when I was getting into it, like I there was a moment where I designed a samurai outfit for a shirt, right?
Right.
Just kind of like pixel texture over like a shirt like template, and I shared that, and it like until I learned that they actually had an outfit for that. That's what my character wore because I wanted to make him look like a samurai. So,
but you can search like tons and thousands whoever plays this game has the ability to share their designs. And it allows you in the system to favorite your favorite designers so that you can go back and see what they have for different designs. Like
That's kind of cool. That reminds me. That reminds me of a game that has absolutely nothing to do with Animal Crossing, but on the Forza Horizon games and the Forza Motorsport games, where you have the libraries for the cars. You can also design your cars like that, the paint job and shit like that. Anyway, it has the same system. You can make it your own, and you can share it to the other users, and they can download it and use it in their cars.
Yeah, I'm always on well, not Instagram so much, but I'm always on Pinterest, and I look up things like, so when I was getting ready to design my stalls that I designed, I was like, okay, I have a bunch of, to get ready for my event that I had, I'm like, all right, I have a bunch of real art, not the fake shit, the real stuff, and it's all duplicates and extras, and I want to design an art booth. So I Pinterest searched pixel art, pixel paintbrush, and it popped up a perler bead design. And then I was able to take that perler bead design and do it square by square by square in the painter, so that I had a stall. It's called a stall, not a booth, but I had a design, and I shared it on my Twitter, all the designs that I did. So it's kind of fun. Like, I will often search for small pixel art or cute pixel art or perler bead patterns or something, and that's how I was able to do a small stitch so he can be on the ground. My new island is going to be the biggest test of my ability and skill, because there aren't a lot of designs out there. I'm making a Steven Universe island, and I've already called it Beach City on my Switch Lite.
Nice.
And I'm pretty impressed because I've designed a Connie, a Steven. I've got the patterns for Pearl and Garnet and like all the crystal gems. I've got them sketched out, and I've just got to translate them, because the problem is if you don't do it a certain way, it's going to be too small. That's my only frustration, is that the palette, the size they give you, I wish it was bigger, or I wish there was a more seamless way to design multi-block designs in a more smoother way, because I'm really struggling.
I'm gonna guess it's just a technical difficulty there with the way the game is coded and the engine they're using. Hopefully for future versions it's gonna be easier.
I would imagine so as well, because we've been going back over some of the other earlier editions here before, and there was like a lot of limitation about like how many spaces you had and that sort, so people had to get very creative with it.
Yeah.
It's still kind of that way now, but there is some more freedoms with this one than there were from the previous.
Right.
So
Well,
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I'm hoping that like the next one will out.
Like to be fair, the Switch is a more powerful system than the 3DS used to be.
Some of the stuff people have done.
And I think that's the problem with that kind of design. Like when you incorporate, like when you introduce some kind of like custom things that you can do in game, custom designs and stuff like that, the developers, when they introduce that, they have to think about RAM limitations and engine limitations. Like if you were able to use like 16 million colors, whatever size you wanted, it's like your RAM in your system would just like burst in flames.
That's true. I never thought of it that way. What was that?
What's up, Jeff? Why are you saying no?
We're running. We need to get other people.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay, so the last thing I have to say is I am really excited to start, and I've started today. I'm getting ready to turn a huge chunk of my Ohana Island into a farm for fall and to start getting decorated for Halloween. And it's kind of weird to already be doing it now, but it takes a really friggin' long time.
I mean, it is August. No, it's getting there. I'm sure you can go to Walmart and buy a Christmas tree now if you want.
Oh,
No.
probably.
No, you can buy Halloween candy. Halloween candy's
Yes.
out.
Yes, they'll after at Labor Day is when we'll get the Christmas crap.
Oh,
But
okay.
anywho,
I don't have the same Labor Day here in Canada, so it doesn't count.
oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah,
So
your
the-
guys is
the
all
first
different
weekend
weird and
in
shit.
September. But the last thing I have to say is any designs I make, I share on my Twitter, and are free and for anyone who wants them. And I'm gonna try to host one big event a month and post it on Twitter in advance so that people want to, come and. I would encourage any of my fellow casting friends here in this group of 5 that if you have Animal Crossing, you really should play because I have so much free crap. I can help you get reconnected.
She's bugging me so many times about coming to her island to get
there
shit.
There we go.
I think-
Because you don't change your clothes.
I think it's a
Damn.
good idea to give me any kind of ability to put designs on the internet. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's pretty
What
cool.
was that? I missed it. I missed what you said.
Yeah, repeat yourself.
What? Oh, I think it's a bad idea to give me any kind of ability to put designs on the internet in any way.
Oh no, you're gonna get dicks and poops everywhere.
You can actually search through the design engine by keyword and you can type something in and yeah. Anyways, that's it from the Animal Crossing corner.
Well, if I ever do get Animal Crossing on the Switch, I will come visit your island.
It's so fun and so cute, and I have some of the hardest villagers. I have Raymond. He's my heart. He's a grumpy cat. He reminds me of Jarf.
I like grumpy cats.
Well, he's not that grumpy cat, but he is a grumpy cat.
That's
Great.
okay.
His house is an office. It's so cute.
I like all kinds of cats.
Yeah.
All right,
He's on
well,
the
thank
Cats with
you.
Jobs Reddit.
Bella, thank you for your Animal Crossing corner. Since
could
I know
talk
he's
the
been...
whole time, you know that.
I know, that's why I was trying to cut you off. Since you haven't said much, let's go over the Cordan for your anime manga
Whoa.
review.
Okay.
Are you not prepared?
Not entirely.
No, that's
You
okay.
are not prepared.
I could talk about Realist Hero.
Okay.
Well, do it.
Well, just
Okay.
talk about whatever you feel like.
Yeah.
So, I'm really excited that Realist Hero is getting its own series because it's one of my favorite series. I don't know. It's an isekai, which standard isekai, which is another world for non-anime people. It's people being sent to another world.
Oh. Okay.
And essentially, what I like about it that's different is he is a hero, but he doesn't bother to fight anyone. He solves all their problems through political means.
Okay.
And I have never watched something that's about politics that I've found interesting before.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that. How do you make politics interesting?
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I want.
Right.
It's
So,
weird.
Full disclosure, I haven't watched anime in a very, very long time. I used to be really, really into anime when I was younger. I haven't followed the scene at all for the last, I want to say 10, 15 years, so I have no idea what's going on. But, in my mind, when I think anime, I think, fights, and I think about
Yeah, shonen.
girls with big boobs, and I think,
I mean, those are still there.
well, of course, they have to be there. But, when I think anime, I think about something happening, right? There's, some kind of conflict, and there's some kind of, I don't want to say violence
Yeah.
and stuff, because it's kind of stereotypical,
Right.
but...
Yeah, most people, especially here in the United States, they grew up with shonen, which is young
Right.
boy.
Yeah, right. That's what I did. I grew up with Dragon Ball, and then later on I went to Slayers and Evangelion and Escaflowne and all those things, and then it kind of dropped off. But yeah, how do you make an anime about politics? It's like when I see those. it's like when I see those anime about cooking. How do you make
Oh yeah.
cooking
Star
interesting?
Wars.
I don't get it.
If you watch it, you'd get it.
Yeah, it's
That's fair.
it's kind of like the way I always describe it to people is a lot of their stuff is if you took the stuff that we normally have as live action and just made it animated, and that's all that's different about it now.
Okay.
So yeah, he gets sent to a fantasy world. He's I can't spoil a whole lot. That's the issue.
Yeah.
And there's so much to spoil. But he becomes king, and he has to essentially rebuild the kingdom. What a surprise!
Right.
And that's all I really have right now.
Okay. But so they managed to make politics interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of it's more like it's funny than interesting.
Okay.
Because he brings all of like our modern ideas into this fantasy world.
Okay.
Where like you learn about like fixes all their problems. Like essentially their whole country is starving at first. And this isn't really super spoiled, but he finds out that the reason they're starving is because cash crops were making more money than food crops. So all the farmers started moving over to growing cash crops. And when he told the princess about it, and she never even realized about it, she just breaks down crying, not realizing that she did it.
That's funny.
But yeah, I enjoy it. I like the main character a lot. He thinks a lot like I do, so that's kind of why I like it.
Nice.
That's something I've been noticing about like a lot of isekais, that like a lot of isekais have been kind of doing this whole idea where you're taking a character that's like specializes in something in like the modern world and then brings it into the fantasy world that they end up in for it here. Like another one a little bit more known was it so I was reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah,
like, I noticed with that series there for it, like basically the guy gets reincarnated as just like a slime monster, like the lowest tier like monster ever, right? But he used to be part of like in the real world.
He's a realtor.
Before. Yeah, he was a realtor, and basically understood like a lot of things about like economics and that sort. And he ends up like making a nation out of monsters that were considered uncivilized and savage and that sort. But then they end up coming to be like just like normal people.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. And then the whole series about basically how he's evolved, like that kind of like that premise and that sort. But I find it kind of interesting. Like I'll have to see this show that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's only on Hulu right now. It kind of annoyed me that it's not on Crunchyroll. It's one of those ones that like I guess licensing issues.
Funimation stuff. Yeah.
But my favorite part about Slime Tensei, by the way, is when he dies, one of the first things he tells the person is to clear out his hard drive.
yes, that is true. One of the best parts too about like later in the series is that he has this ability where he can like reproduce anything that he remembers and that sort. And one of the things that he does is that like kind of help like please somebody else from the real world that's ends up there too. Is he ends up making a ton of like copies of manga from like from like a manga that he was following, but like they totally lost it. So he's like, I don't know what happened. I wish I knew. And like he makes like 30 freaking volumes of it and just like and he does it as a trade off, so he gets it as a kind of like a marketing deal for him. It's hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah. A lot of isekais have started becoming more like parodies because it's such a essentially like the classical art, modern art thing where modern art makes fun of the classicals,
Right.
But yeah, that's a lot of them out there.
It's been a very popular genre for like the last like.
Especially like the one I can think of that's a huge parody is Cautious Hero. It's literally a story. It's got a lot of fan service moments that are questionable, but essentially the concept is yes, he's the greatest hero ever, but it's because he's super super cautious about everything. Like when he meets a slime for the first time, he casts the highest level spell possible on it, and then after it's already dead, he decides to cast it 5 more times just to be sure.
I mean that's kind of what we do when we play RPGs, right? When you reach the end of the game and you're still kind of grinding and you have that like level 1 enemy, it's like take my
or if you're playing a shooter game, you want to make sure.
I was about to say like that's somebody who truly believes in the double tap.
No.
I wish that solved problem.
No.
Right?
Did I say something wrong?
Oh god.
No.
I thought that was when you sat on somebody after you killed them in World of Warcraft.
You're not just sitting on them.
There's
That's a topic for another show.
There you go. There's my answer right there.
There's teabagging in World of Warcraft. Is that a thing?
Kind of.
Yes.
Kind
There's
of.
everything in World of Warcraft.
I don't play World of Warcraft.
When you were doing PvP, when you were like doing world PvP, I used to be on a PvP server when I first started playing, and after I would like totally annihilate somebody and like they were done for, you would do the thingy, and it was like, screw you.
This is pretty much every video game where you can crouch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
that's pretty much that.
Now,
I used to just sit on them though.
in WoW, you either sit or you can type in the /kneel emote, which is a real pain in the ass to do. So
Right.
I used to have a
That's-
button.
That's what I'm saying. I had a macro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had a
macro,
macro. Yeah.
The cool people have macros. What's your excuse?
Right.
I didn't play PvP. That's my excuse.
Go up on PvP server.
Oh,
Like, if
thank you.
If you didn't know how to defend yourself and protect yourself against the Alliance, because I grew up Horde, now I'm Alliance, well, bi-factional, I don't play anymore anyway, so I don't even know why I'm discussing this, but you would not last 5 minutes.
Damn right I wouldn't, because PvP's dumb.
You're dumb.
I am.
I love you too, dear.
It's okay. Everything exciting happens in Goldshark.
I agree with Jeff on that one. On that kind of game, I don't understand the reason for PvP. It's just dumb.
It's people
I moved
like
off of a
conflict.
PvP server, but at
Yeah,
one point I was,
I don't get it. It's like
I
when
was touching
I
content.
it's
but-
like when I was playing Back 4 Blood. I was playing the beta for the past few days, and it's mostly a PvE co-op game that you can play with your friends or random matchmaking. And there is a PvP mode, and the
Oh Lord.
The PvE part is amazing. So much fun. It looks good. It runs great. Gunplay is amazing. It's really, really fun. And then there's a PvP version, which is just dumb. It's literally just thrown in there because they knew that there would be 15 people buying the game who would be like, where's the PvP? Like, no,
Yeah.
PvP needs to be everywhere. And the PvP sucks in this game. It's so bad. And I'm never going to touch it, ever. I don't understand why we have to have PvP everywhere.
How would you make PvP in a zombie fighting game? Well, somebody play the zombies, or is it player versus player with the zombies in the middle?
So the guys who made Back 4 Blood are mostly known for working on Left 4 Dead 2, but also Evolve. I don't know if you guys remember that game.
Right? Yeah, that one.
And and so it's kind of the same concept as you would see in Evolve. It's also kind of like a remade version of the PvP you had in Left 4 Dead 2, because that was PvP in Left 4 Dead 2, where you have one team, you're the humans, and you have one team, you're the infected.
The zombies. Okay,
Right?
that makes sense.
And there's, I don't know, like the map is weird. So there's like only a couple maps right now in the beta. And then as time goes on, it gets smaller and smaller because there's a circle, like if you were playing a BR game.
Battle Royale,
Yeah.
like Fortnite.
And when you play as a human, you just play, like you spawn the same way you would spawn in PvE. So you choose your cards, your deck, whatever, like your weapons and stuff. Then you spawn. And when you play as an infected, you can choose which special infected you spawn in. You can spawn as a regular base zombie. And so you spawn in there and you try to kill the human guys. And then whoever survives the longest wins the round. It's just dumb. I don't understand.
Oh, okay. I understand now. Okay. All right. Well, Cordan, appreciate the anime review. I'm sorry, I can't speak tonight. So I know we have 3 other people to go, but we are kind of running long on time. It has been almost 2 hours.
It's been an hour and a half. Not even.
Hour and 40 minutes.
No, I've been recording for an hour and 28 minutes.
Almost an hour and a half. I'm sorry.
So what? We've got other people to go.
Yeah.
Yes, but some of us have to go to bed soon.
Oh.
Sleep is
You.
for the weak.
Oh. I'm working from home tomorrow.
He's telling her when to go to bed.
No. She'll pass out on her own. I won't have nothing to do with that.
All right, but
So he does try to tell me when I should go to bed.
No, I suggest. I don't tell.
Maybe it's
Regardless.
out of love.
Kaba, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, as I was saying earlier here, I've been playing a lot of Genshin. Genshin Impact, which for those who don't know, it's a free-to-play game. It's a gacha-based game, which basically means that like it's completely free, but it has a lot of purchase stuff that's kind of like per chance RNG type stuff that you can get like as you play the game if you choose to go that way. You still get stuff for free and can earn stuff within the game. But the best thing about it is that like it kind of looks and plays kind of like Breath of the Wild, but with a bunch more characters and more variety in that story. Oh, excuse me.
That's what I find.
But
sorry, that's what I find interesting about the game. And again, it's one of those games I haven't played, even though people try to make me play it. But because you say it's a gacha game, but the way I kind of look at it, it's more like an RPG with gacha mechanics.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
That's kind of how I look at it, because I've been playing a couple other gacha games, like actual, like full-on gacha. Like right now, I'm playing Nier Reincarnation, which is full-on gacha game. It's like the basics is you log in and then you have your 3 characters that you barely control. Most of the time you just press auto and you let them fight for you, and the point of the game is to level up your characters or buy the cards. That's all there is to do in it. That's kind of how I look at gacha games.
And that's where the big that's where this really kind of diverges from that, because because I've seen what you said before, like I've been introduced to other like gachas. I played a few gachas just to kind of get a feel for it, and they had some interesting things about them, but this one really focuses on that RPG aspect where you're really going in, exploring a world, learning about the characters and the environments, that sort. And it's much better than any other gacha game I've ever played, because there's so much more.
It looks great. I don't play it, but like what I've seen, considering it started as a mobile game, it looks pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, I mean, like it literally is that. Like it's a whole game completely free. I mean, if you don't have to purchase into it, it's all free. But yeah, like so I've been kind of playing it recently because what's the day? We're getting ready to release a new update for the game. It's 2.0, and it's out now, but it's been out for a few weeks now at this point. But I had stopped playing for a while there because I just got caught up with other games and that sort. So I was doing a mad rush trying to get through some of the story and get to that point to where I could experience the first part of it here. And thankfully I was able to do so. And I will say, like, this expansion has been amazing, like absolutely amazing. They introduced a whole new country. Each just so you know, each country kind of has like this kind of like theme behind it. The first one was kind of like more of like a like typical fantasy, like knights and wizards and stuff like that. They're kind of like a kind of approach for the first country, which is called Mondstadt. The second one was called Liyue, which had more of a kind of a Chinese influence in that story. It dealt with a little bit more of like some of the politics within the area itself here for it, and ancient gods and that sort. It was really cool. Then this next one is dealing with a country called Inazuma. Now the thing about Inazuma is that it's an island. It's themed like Japan, so it's got a Japanese theme to it. The thing about it, as far as story goes, is that it's been secluded, like it's been closed off from the rest of the world. There's still people trying to get there and that sort of forth here, but there's not really a lot going on. But in the midst of it, they have a decree going on right now that's preventing people. That's basically where they're hunting down people with powers. Now, in this world, not to get too technical, in this world, you get what's called some people get what's called a vision. A vision is a item that's basically bestowed upon them from like gods or whatever that allows them to have an elemental ability, basically. And what we're finding out in the story is that basically that the main leader, or the main faction leader of this place, her name is Ball, has been going around hunting down these people for their visions and taking them away from them. Basically for her quest of trying to gain like eternity or something like that. It's kind of an off theme, but anyway. But that's the whole premise. Basically, you're going there because you need to find out about like what's going on for it here, and you get kind of caught up in it. And I've played through the first part of the story already, where you meet some of the characters there. You find out about this whole thing that's going on and this conflict taking place, and it's of course it's not done, but like because they still got more that's coming out for it. But the story that I experienced so far has been just really, really good. They've had some great cinematics going on, some interesting character and plot twist type stuff. There was even, I'm not going to spoil too much for it here, but there is a really epic fight that had some amazing music in it. Which the music in the game has been fantastic. Each area that you go into the game, they actually specifically get musicians from those countries that are influenced by it here to actually compose the music for those sections. And that sort.
That's kind of
So,
cool.
right, it is like the music, music in Leeway was all done by like a Chinese orchestra basically, and they did a similar thing too with Inazuma, with getting like a Japanese orchestra together to compose the music for it, which fantastic. Like some of the best music I've heard so far in games coming out of that section, and the fight music in that battle was just, I mean, just to give a hint, I've had it like saved on YouTube, and I've been listening to it every so often during my art streams, just because like I'm so obsessed with that song. It's so good. But but as far as it goes here they've introduced like some really interesting characters. I was able to get one of the first ones. Her name's Ayaka. She's a kind of a swordsman that uses a katana and has ice powers and that sort. Pretty cool. There's another there's a what they call a banner coming out next week, which every couple weeks they introduce, because of the gacha mechanic, they introduce the banner where it shows like one main character that you can pull for, and then some other sub characters within it that too. They've got one next week coming out for this one girl named Yoimiya, who is an archer with fire powers, but her powers are based around like fireworks and stuff like that. So I get to play her a little bit in one part of the story, just to kind of get a feel for it.
Right.
Absolutely fell in love. I'm gonna try and pull.
It's like drugs. You get a free trial for a few hours. It's like, do you like it? Do you like it? Okay, here's the banner. Spend the money to get it.
Well, here's the thing about it. So like, you can spend money towards it, right? But they have in-game currencies that you can build up from doing like quests and commissions and stuff like that there, that you can save up towards that.
Where the game is free and you spend a truck ton of money to get better stuff.
Well, it's again, if you choose to. But the thing is that you still can earn the currency within the game itself without having to pay anything.
Right. And how is the grind for that? Because see, like, that's like a trap that a lot of free-to-play games use, right? We're completely free. You can buy the stuff if you want to, but you can also earn it in game if you really don't want to pay, which is cool. But then for a lot of games, it turns out that you have to play for like 75,000 hours to be able to buy one thing that you could just spend $5 for.
Admittedly, during the first year, like maybe the first half of the year or so, there was some struggle between the free to play players versus players that would pay into it, and it was because that like especially as you got into the higher level part of it, you have to try and save up like certain resources to get some of the stuff that you need. So just to give you an idea, so to build one character, right? You got your character, you got individual character levels. You got their talents that can be leveled up. They have a constellation thing where basically if you get copies of them, you can feed them into them to make them stronger. They've got these their gear, which is basically 5 items, which they call artifacts. And you can build those up too. Like you can get different tiered like items, and then within those tiers, you can build those up too as well. Like actually grow them like you would your character. And then on top of that, they also have your adventure rank too, which the adventure rank basically allows you to access to more things as you go up in there. So there can be potentially a lot of grinding to be done, and some RNG involved with it. But a lot of the updates that they've done is kind of helped out with it. So for example, daily you get what's called resin. Resin's a currency that's used for like going into like these special dungeons, special boss battles, world bosses, stuff like that. And the reason why you go into them is so that way you can get some of those items, like the special artifacts, special weapons, stuff like that, which they themselves are kind of RNG, but they're set to those locations or those bosses, that sort. And that replenishes every day, every 24 hours. You get like 160, and it replenishes itself automatically. The thing is that if you get finished within the day, you're pretty much done for the most part, is how it was before. Now they have items that you can get, like either from doing your commissions or some of the events that they have and stuff like that there, which is all free, where you can get items that can help replenish that faster. So and give you like some of it. So for example, like I have a stockpile of like 40 of those right now. And when I consume one of them, it gives me about like 40 resin, which for most things that you do in the game, most things usually is about like 20 to 40 resin for like each dungeon or boss battle or that sort, to be able to loot them. because you can still do the fights if you choose, if you only have to use it if you don't want to loot from them, basically. Okay. So it does give you enough to where you could do the stuff there, and you could still build them up. Yeah, there is a little bit of grinding, but not as bad as in some cases there. Like, you can actually kind of plan your way around it.
Okay.
So like for me,
it's a game you can kind of enjoy almost casually, right? You can just like log in every day or every couple of days, whatever, do your thing, kind of enjoy it and still have that progression. Like, you're not hitting that wall after a while where it's either you grind every day for hours or you pay. Like, you still kind of like can just play it for fun a few hours a day if you want to and still progress. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah. The thing about it was that, like, with the free to play, is that, like, they don't just limit everything to just to do like the gacha mechanic, right? So, like, because like in most gachas, basically to get the best armor, to get the best weapons and stuff like that, there you have to go through the purchase, and they give you no way to work around it. Whereas in Genshin here for it, you can still get some of the best items just from beating a certain like thing or doing a certain quest and stuff like that there. So they still let you get the gold from it. It's just that you have different ways to approach it, and you can do it by either doing the grind or you can save up to get this other thing. And it's, again, it's it kind of goes back and forth on it. But the thing that I like is that, like, the way they set up the gacha part of it, which is a thing called wishes, basically. And the wishes can be purchased either by money or by in-game currency you save up for it here. And the thing about it is that if you save up so much for it too, like if you save up like a certain amount of these wishes or so, you can actually get guaranteed stuff sometimes through it. So, for example, whenever you do a pull for a wish, right? Or whenever you have the option to, you can either do one at a time or you can do it by 10. And if you do it by 10 on any one of the regular banners that they have, you're guaranteed either a 4 or 5 star drop with that pull if you do 10 at a time. So if you save up to 10, you're guaranteed something like a better chance at it for here. They also have a thing where it's kind of the technical term for like the community is called pity. But basically, if you pull so much for it here and you don't get the drop that you want for it here, if it gets to a certain part, like to like maybe like 100 pulls or something like that there individually, it will give you a like 5-star guaranteed.
It's like a drop protection in Destiny kind of thing.
Exactly. So I mean, again, it's to that point where basically you can still be free to play, you can still get great stuff for it here. The only real advantage is that if you do to for pay is that you just get more wishes, basically. Okay. And get through that stuff quicker. That's it.
Right.
The rest of it is just pretty much just build up, grind, RNG type stuff. So, and for me, like being a player who like has been away for several months and coming back to it here, there's still so much that I have to do still. Like I've got my characters at a decent level here for it. I've got through most of the main story now. I'm now doing just side stories stuff, but I also still have the ability to build up like reputations with the cities for more bonuses. They have the events coming out here for it. They actually started an event. Was it this week? Yeah, this week I think. Where basically you can get a pet in game, but it's done over like several days where you have to do like certain like little like quests and stuff. Which I have one myself. If you see my streams, you would have seen it. It's a little yellow ball thing that was floating around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. I've just been incredibly enjoying it.
I'll be honest. I've stayed away from this game since it came out. I downloaded it. Okay, I downloaded it on my phone. Mm-hmm. I was on my break at my previous job. I was on my break, so I downloaded it on my phone and was like, okay, I'm gonna create my character and start it up. And I started it up, and then it went like, downloaded 1.5 gigabytes of data. Do you want to use your data or Wi-Fi? I was like, I'm not playing this game. Bye. What kind of game does that? Turn it on your phone. Like the install was like 300 or 400 megs or some shit. I was like, no big deal. And then it's like, oh yeah, I need like the whole space of your phone now. I didn't like it. But then I downloaded the client for the PC version. I don't think I have it anymore, but I had the client on the PC and I downloaded it and I installed it and I never launched it. But considering what character is coming soon, maybe I will. I don't know.
there's a lot of the characters coming out for this set here for has been pretty cool looking. Like I said, I like a lot of people were like kind of got a preview of the one character Ayaka before she came out because she was in the beta. And she's really fun to play. I absolutely enjoy her. Yoimiya is the next one coming out, like I said. Again, with the fireworks ability. I like it a lot because like when she shoots a bow, it's like a freaking machine gun. Like, and it keeps the element effect to it. I mean, so it's like it's powerful when she does it. Like, I'm like, yes, I'll do that. But some people are saving up for the next one after that because the rumor is that after Yoimiya, they're going to release Ball as the next one. The main villain. Which okay. That's another thing that I like about this game is that like you play against some of these characters in that story, and you can still get them in your team.
Right.
Like, you know, even if you're like major enemies in that sort. Like there's one in the, from the Leeway set that is actually a villain that you fight against, and you actually can get him. Now he doesn't have the same powers he did when he was fighting him in the battle,
Obviously, but like you when you fight him, he's level 50 and shit, and he whoops your ass, and then when you get it, all of a sudden he forgot everything. It's like, oh shit, I'm level 1 there. What is that, fighting? I don't know. What do you mean I just whooped your ass?
Admittedly, story-wise, they give it some premise to why he doesn't have all those powers. Same thing with like with the Archons, which I haven't really mentioned that here for just kind of briefly just touching that. So in this world that the main character's in, they have like 7 gods more or less, and they call them Archons. And the Archons are just basically people that with like really incredible powers that are focused around a certain element or so. And they you have to meet. Basically, the premise is that you have to meet them and gain some of their powers to help your main character out. I don't want to reveal too much, but you can get them as well. Now, the thing about them is that the ones that you get are, of course, a little less powered, but they're still really, really good characters. And Ball is an Archon. So that's why a lot of people were excited for her, is that because the previous 2 Archons that they had are pretty much mainstays in the game. Like, if you have them, you're pretty much always playing them. So I think that's part of why everybody's excited. I think the other part too is just the fact that she pulls her sword from her chest.
You know, guys, that sounds really cool.
I can understand the interest.
Yeah.
It's like, boop sword!
Sword! As a woman, I think that would be a cool superpower to have.
Alright.
She technically does it as a superpower because like the characters in this game, like when you play them, they have both a skill ability and what they call a burst. So they have basically two kind of moves they work off of outside of just the regular attack abilities. But for her super, basically because she goes around with a spear first, right? So she fights with a spear. But with her super, she does that whole thing where she just starts pulling it out of her chest, brings out this freaking katana, and just starts whipping around like lightning, just slicing people and stuff. It's freaking amazing.
That's funny.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kaba, for the update on Genshin Impact.
So I would say before we move on, the only thing I'm waiting for Genshin that may or may not make me play the game.
Oh, that's right.
Is when they bring Aloy.
That's right. I forgot to mention that real quick. So let me touch base very quickly on that. So for the first time, they're doing a crossover, which is nobody was expecting that with Genshin. But for the first crossover, they're actually bringing over Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn, which is one of my favorite games ever. I love this game so much.
Mm-hmm. The as far as goes here for it, she's going to be coming out to PlayStation with the next update, which is going to be I believe in September. It's September or October. I forget what day it is exactly. But when it gets to 2.1, she'll be released at the PlayStation first. And then they'll also have for PlayStation players, they'll also get like a special bow as well for her. And then come 2.2, which is going to be later this year, everybody else who plays on any other platform will get her as well, and it's completely free. The thing about it is that she's a 5-star, which is the highest rank for character you can get, and she's completely free. Everybody's going to get her. Okay. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
I actually didn't know that part. I thought you had to pull her from a banner or something. You're lucky with it.
No.
But just give her to you.
Yep, in-game mail. You just grab it, Yours.
Oh,
Don't come the
no.
update. Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to start playing a new game again.
Good job,
I-
Kaba. You got Flo and addicted in something.
Just add one more, you know.
I mean, it does have co-op. I mean, you can't do story missions together, but it does have co-op.
Okay. Well, we'll have to figure out
So
something
you can play
out.
up there. Yeah, you can definitely play more than one person.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, or in that note, Flo, do you have anything to say, or are we good to cut it off for the night?
No, I think we're good there. We've been at it for a while now.
So,
Anybody else?
I would just like to help us. I want to say that I'm really excited for what our new project that we're doing here with all of us, and I think as a way to wrap it up, let's maybe say where people can find us.
Sure.
so we'll start with Cordan. Where can the listeners find you at? Twitter, Facebook?
Well, I'm Cordan the Man on Twitter. I'll work on that.
The thing is with Cordan, you don't find him; he finds you.
I find you.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like Russia.
Oh, God. In Mother Russia, Cordan, you don't find Cordan. Cordan find...
Find you.
It's like the old saying, in Mother Russia, you don't screw the bank screws you.
It's not just Russia,
No.
though.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
No, it's the other way around. The bank doesn't screw you, you screw the bank. That's the way it's supposed to go. Mother Russia is different. Wow. It's late. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
So you on let's see, Twitter I am _Elizabella. On Instagram you can find me at _ElizabellaAC. Guess what the AC is for?
Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Air conditioning.
And
Air
my
conditioning.
email, you can email if you want any information like codes or whatever. My email is theelizabellaac@gmail.com.
Kaba, where can we find you at? Kaba.
Oh,
Social
okay.
media.
Okay.
Give us the
I've been
socials.
So for me, you can find me on Twitter at _KMebus. Also, the same name on Twitch as well. I try to stream as much as I can for it here, at least like 2-3 times a week. No real set schedule, especially with my schedule changing up soon. So I'll be doing like maybe some daytime streams or like late night streams or so. But you can find me on there. I post up my art and my and anytime a game. So feel free to follow me on Twitter.
And Fsan, where can we find you at?
And for me, you can find me all over social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch at fsanporte, and you can find me on YouTube at Holy Shiitake.
What exactly is Holy Shiitake?
Alright, so Holy Shiitake is a YouTube channel I'm doing with a really good friend of mine from Japan, and it's a channel about Japan and about the life in Japan as a foreigner. So if you want to find out what it's like to live in Japan when you're not from Japan, she's from the Philippines originally. That's a good resource. She goes to cool places that she hasn't seen before. We make videos for that, and we have some short form podcast versions of just talks that we have about certain topics. How to move when you're in Japan, how to find a job. She's working as an English teacher, so she talks about what it's like to be an English teacher in Japan. All those things. If you're interested about Japan, it's a good channel to go.
And if you look, if Flo pans the camera down a little more, he's wearing the Holy Shiitake shirt.
I am wearing the Holy Shiitake shirt.
That is
There you
so cool.
I am branded.
Very much so.
And where can
He's
they
very
find
much so.
you, Jarf?
Now, as for me, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Grandmaster Jarf. You can also find me on Twitch at Grandmaster Jarf. I stream very irregularly. Last night was the first time in like a month. But as we had said earlier this episode, we will be streaming, or I will be streaming Phasmophobia on Wednesday with Bella's first time playing the game. So come watch us there, and hopefully she doesn't pee herself.
No, come on on now. It's not going to be that bad.
No,
It's just a
You
freaking
can't-
video game.
that has real sounds,
And I've
That's
never heard the
funny.
sounds. Where can
Yeah.
where can people find the show?
which is what I was about to say. So you can find the show on Twitter at the Saints of M. Unfortunately, Saints of Misery was too long. And you can find us on YouTube at the Saints of Misery 96. We will be uploading this show here along other streams, like any of Kaba's streams, any of my streams, any of anybody else's
Right.
streams.
We'll have our own custom URL as soon as we can.
We do have other members of the Saints of Misery that will be.
Yeah. So people, if you're watching on
Posted sometime.
YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, just make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, all those things you do on YouTube.
Make sure you leave a like or leave a dislike if you didn't like the video.
Dislike.
And leave a comment. Did you learn anything, or do you think we're just idiots for talking the way we are? Just let us know in the comments. Okay, any kind of engagement is good for us.
Yes.
Or what do you want to know more of? Or if you want to come to my Animal Crossing island and get lots of free stuff.
We'll have all of everybody's social media links in the description down below.
And if you're listening on the audio platforms, I don't know how that works. I think you can like those things, share, or whatever, give a rating.
You can leave if we put it up on Apple, on iTunes, they can leave a 5-star review, 4-star, 1-star. Thankfully, no negative stars, but you can leave a 1 to 5-star.
All right.
The show's email, if anybody feels the need to email, be it a topic or if you want to try to guest star or guest host, I should say, thesaintsofmisery96@gmail.com. Unfortunately, Saints of Misery was taken, so we went 96.
Well, what's the 96 for?
That's the year I graduated high school because I'm old as hell.
I graduated from high school in 2002.
Exactly. Old as hell.
Right. Well,
Anyway.
I graduated high school in 1695.
1965?
No, 1695. He's going with the Canadian is immortal joke still.
Oh, whoop, I almost lost my ears. Well
But-
then, good night, everyone.
On that note, I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. We will see you all next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.